Chapter 625, Yeti Prince. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The Red Wish emissary's control of sorcery, at the 43rd level of spiritual power, was very fine and delicate. She was able to precisely control the colorless illusory world to only attack the evil warriors, including Yi, and not affect Zhang Yuochen by her side or the people that had come with her. Her sorcery caused the evil warriors who had come to protect Yi to throw away their genuine martial arms. Their angry eyes gradually became soft and then, they became passionate. Like bulls in heat, they all charged toward Yi. "Hey beautiful, your body is so fine. I want to take your clothes off." So white and alluring. Although many of the warriors were at the peak of the 7th change of the fish dragon realm, they were still controlled by the sorcery. Their eyes were almost popping out of their heads and lustful smiles appeared on their faces, revealing their primitive natures. Red Wish emissary's sorcery was truly terrifying. If her spiritual power advanced into the higher realms, she would even be able to charm half-saints. On the contrary, Yi's eyes looked confused at first, then he quickly resisted the sorcery with his strong willpower and woke up again. "Go away." Seeing the evil warriors coming toward him, an expression of disgust appeared on Yi's usually handsome face. Striking out with his palm, he sent a chubby warrior, who leapt at him, flying over 30 meters away. The evil cultivator landed on the ground with a crash, and his round body became bloody and torn. Dozens of evil cultivators charged toward Yi, surrounding him. They stretched out their hands and clawed at him as if they wanted to rip his clothes from his body. The evil cultivators charmed with sorcery all thought that Yi was a stunning beauty, and they wished they could just swallow him whole. "How dare you!" A loud cry rang out. Immediately, an earth-shaking footstep came from the night sky. In a moment, a 20-meter-tall Yeti had rushed over. He was covered in golden ancient armor, and he held a 100-ton golden battle-axe in his hands. He raised his arms and then brought the battle-axe down ferociously. With a boom, a powerful chi explosion burst out from where the battle-axe touched the ground. The dozens of evil cultivators surrounding Yi were all sent flying. 3 of the evil warriors with low cultivations could not withstand the powerful force. They were pulverized, spraying blood everywhere. The explosive power from the battle-axe split apart the colorless illusory world that Red Wish emissary had created. It left a 10-foot wide crack in the ground that extended all the way to Red Wish emissary's feet. Red Wish emissary immediately retreated. Then, she rose to her toes and flew up to hover about 30 feet above the ground. Only then did she completely neutralize the power of the battle-axe. The mighty Yeti, with battle-axe in hand, faced the sky and laughed loudly. Its voice was like a roar of thunder and it said, "Young master, I am here to help you kill your enemy. You came at just the right time. Get me out of here." Yi leapt up and flew onto the Yeti prince's shoulder. Glancing at Red Wish emissary, he said, "Next time we fight, I'll make sure you die a nasty death." This 20-meter-tall Yeti was the prince of one of the Yeti tribes. He was called Xi. He was very physically strong, powerful enough to carry a mountain on his back. The inferior class king's stage giant spirit troth skill that he practiced had already reached the glazed treasured body realm of the 9th change of the fish dragon realm. Although also in the 9th change of the fish dragon realm, the power of the Yeti prince's body far exceeded that of a normal monk in the 9th change of the fish dragon realm. He was just a freak of nature. When she saw the Yeti prince appear, Red Wish emissary's expression became very ugly. "I can't believe Yi brought him to Cyan Cloud County. Perhaps everything will be over today." A deep fear appeared on Red Wish emissary's face. Although she was deeply dissatisfied, she still retreated, putting some distance between her and the Yeti prince. Her gaze turned toward Zhang Yuochen. The power of the great guardian was unfathomable. Perhaps he would have a way to defeat the Yeti prince. No matter what, she could not allow Yi to escape. She had won a complete victory in battle today, but if Yi escaped, she would have lost the war. Afterward, she would be faced with punishment by the elders. Zhang Yuochen stood behind Red Wish emissary and quietly observed the Yeti prince, looking for any flaws. Today, Zhang Yuochen was not the main character. He was just the great guardian of Red Willow Heights. Thus, Yi and the Yeti Prince did not pay him much attention. Zhang Yuochen seemed to not see Red Wish Emissary's gaze. He only gave a quiet evaluation of the Yeti Prince. Very powerful, but limited agility. The Yeti Prince glanced at Red Wish Emissary, stretching out a giant tongue. He licked his lips and said with a leer, "Young master, let me kill Red Wish Emissary first before we go. It won't take long." The Yeti Prince was very confident in his abilities. He took a big step forward, leaving a meter-long footprint behind. A powerful aura exploded from his body, pressing down on Red Wish Emissary. Red Wish Emissary retreated quickly, but the Yeti Prince still caught up. He gave a roar and raised his golden battle axe. A powerful light came from the battle axe and enveloped Red Wish Emissary's body as it chopped down. Red Wish Emissary's face became deathly white as she realized that her sorcery had no effect on the Yeti Prince. Just as Red Wish Emissary had given up hope, Zhang Yuochen's voice rang out behind her. Wrath of Thunder God. A thunderbolt warlord about as large as the Yeti Prince formed behind Red Wish Emissary. It swung its thunder hammer to clash against the golden battle axe. However, the Yeti's power split apart the thunderbolt warlord, and the battle axe continued to fall. In just that moment, Zhang Yuochen charged out very quickly and stretched out a hand to wrap around Red Wish Emissary's waist. He took her to the top of a broken wall in the distance. Boom! The Yeti Prince's axe struck the empty ground, and once again it created deep cracks in the ground. A woman's waist was her most sensitive part. Having escaped the danger, Red Wish Emissary noticed Zhang Yuochen's hand on her waist. The warmth of his hand passed through the red silk directly to her skin, giving her an unusually numb feeling. A trace of anger grew in her heart, along with another strange feeling. A subordinate dared to put his arm around her waist. Just as Red Wish Emissary was going to scold Zhang Yuochen, he released his hand. Thus, Red Wish Emissary could not express her anger, and she had to regain control of her emotions. "I'll let him off this one time, since he just saved me," Red Wish Emissary told herself quietly. She did not think any further about Zhang Yuochen's infringement on her person. Zhang Yuochen did not know that he had unknowingly infringed upon Red Wish Emissary. And he did not know that Red Wish Emissary had just thought about it so much. His attention, from the very beginning, had been focused on the Yeti Prince and Yi. Rescuing Red Wish Emissary had been a matter of convenience. "Yeti Prince, I will fight you." Xihong's voice came from afar. He had already dealt with the evil warriors. He rushed over. His entire body had a powerful glow like colored glass. He kicked with both his legs, and his body shot up 30 meters like a cannonball. It was clear that Xihong knew that the Yeti Prince was very strong. So, he did not go head-to-head with him. He pulled a level 12 genuine martial arm inky black stiletto from behind his leg. Passing through the 5 holy meridians in his body, Xihong's genuine chi transformed into rich holy chi. It immediately made the stiletto brighten with sword light. He dropped from the sky, stabbing towards the Yeti Prince's head. He gave a cold snort, and 2 columns of air surged out of his nostrils. He swung his arm out and crashed it into Xihong. Boom! The stiletto struck the back of the Yeti's arm. It was as if it had crashed into dark steel, sending up a flare of sparks. The Yeti swatted Xihong aside like a fly. Xihong was a powerful warrior in the 9th change of the fish-dragon realm, so, naturally, he would not be injured so easily. He landed on the ground and only felt a numbness in his arm. What a terrifying creature. Even a 12th level genuine martial arms stiletto could not hurt him. Xihong stared at the Yeti Prince's wrist and sucked in a cold breath. Only a holy weapon could split open his defenses. The appearance of the Yeti Prince had been quite an unexpected change. It made Red Wish Emissary very distressed. The Yeti Prince had a Yeti tribe's holy item that could largely dissipate the influence of her sorcery, so she could not stop him at all. "Hey, where is the Great Guardian?" Red Wish Emissary suddenly realized that the Great Guardian, Zhang Shengming, who had been standing at her side the entire time, had disappeared at some point. Zhang Shengming's strange disappearance gave her the feeling that he was a real ghost. Yi also noticed the dangerous aura. He was immediately on guard, and he said, "Something is not right." "Yeti Prince, let's get out of here quickly." The Yeti Prince opened his eyes and focused his vision as much as possible, but he still could not see where the man in the metal mask had gone. Something was not right. The Yeti prince quickly turned and took big steps as he began to escape into the distance. Swoosh! Suddenly, a golden holy sword appeared silently above the Yeti prince's head, giving off an eye-piercing golden light. It chopped down rapidly, straight toward Yi on the Yeti's shoulder. Zhang Yuochen did not want to expose his identity, so, for now, he did not use the ancient abyss sword. Instead, he used another 100 inscription holy sword.